And a very good evening to you. Welcome to Politics 101, Thursday evening, weekend edition. Good evening to you. If you're joining us from Guyana, if you're joining us from the wider Caribbean, North America, good evening and welcome. Those of you who are joining us from London, from wider Europe, welcome to Politics 101. Welcome to Politics 101. Please, of course, share the link for the live. Let everyone know that we're on. It's a Thursday night edition. And welcome to all of you regulars. I am just coming back from Mocha, Arcadia. Went there to get a first-hand look at the wickedness, the terror, the government terror that was meted out to the people of Mocha, Arcadia. Last night, we talked at length about where things are in our country as far as official government attitude to African Guyanese. I saw with my own eyes, what the government did. I'm hoping to get some of that footage to show you. I know most of you would have seen because it was all over the internet, Facebook, other social media, all day today. Got a chance to look firsthand at what a government in 2022 has done to its own citizens. And what I saw today, and what I heard from the people who were directly and indirectly affected, it makes me question my own safety, my own worth as a Black person, as an African person in Guyana. We have become an endangered species. An endangered species. What I saw today was inhumanity. Inhumanity. Welcome to Politics 101. Tonight is a sad night. Sad day for our country. Children will have no place to sleep tonight, many children. Many adults will have nowhere to sleep tonight. I watched with the people of that village at the work of the government, a government that is peopled by people without conscience, without conscience. So many emotions, so many emotions, so many emotions. What have we done? What have we done? What have they done? Good evening. Welcome to Politics 101. David Hines here. Reflecting on the terror. I can only describe it as terrorism, government terrorism against its own citizens, or government terrorism against people it does not consider to be full citizens of Guyana. Good evening. Welcome to Politics 101. I'm glad you all are here tonight as we reflect once again and discuss once again what this beast of a government is doing to some of its citizens. Good evening. There are questions that have to be asked and their answers that will have to be given. I saw for myself, which we already know, this piece of land occupied by people that have been flattened, bulldozed, is far away from where the road is passing. We are not against infrastructural development. We are not against infrastructural development. We are not against infrastructural development. But with a road passing through a village, the land surrounding the road become prime property. And from what I have heard and researched, this government is trying to transfer that property over to their friends, transferring wealth to their friends, taking away the land of the people. If a road is passing there and people live on either side of the road, that's what you call front door. And these black people who have lived for 30 and 40 years on that strip of land are being denied the real estate increase that would come with the road. That is what this is about, first and foremost. To remove people from their own land, give them a pittance, give them a few $1 million for land whose worth will increase 100, 500-fold. And because the people refuse to be bullied, the government of Guyana sent in bulldozers and policemen to terrorize the people, bulldoze their homes, I fought against the PNC government under Burnham and Hoyt. But I've never seen Burnham or Hoyt government did to Indian people what these people did to black people there in Mocha. The coalition government led by the PNC never did that to Indian people. Last year in Linden, we saw with our very eyes bulldozing people's homes. We talked. But we believe that this government is humane. This government is humane. That it would not do that again. Just a few months after the government is on the rampage, it got through in Linden. And that emboldened them to take their terror to Mocha, Arcadia. Let me say again, I fought bitterly against the Burnham Hoyt government. I was highly critical of the coalition government. These were black-led governments. But I never saw them demolish the homes of Indian people like that. What I saw today says to me, this government is inhuman as far as black people are concerned. I looked into the eyes of those people. I spoke little and listened a lot. The pain, the anguish, the feeling of worthlessness, despair. Are profound. I don't need to hear anymore. I don't need to see anymore. My worst fears as we went into the 2020 election, my worst fears, at that time I feared this outcome. I feared for black people. I feared for black people. And my fears have been borne out. What do we do? Because we have to do things. The human spirit cannot idle and quiet and inactive in the face of this cruelty. The talk that those black men commanding the machines, the black men in uniform, I understand. I've been trying to get the piece of footage of a black man kneeling on a woman who refused to move, a black police. They've arrested 3 people. What have you arrested them for? Have they demolished anybody's home? Have they knelt? The woman on whom that police knelt is arrested, is in police custody up to an hour ago. Good evening, welcome to Politics 101. We've been saying over and over on this program, we can't do this no more. We can't do this no more. Let me bring in my brother Kedaki Amsterdam, who was on the ground with me, part of the WPA team that went in today. Brother Kedaki, Brother Takumo Ogunse, and myself went in as a WPA team. We met a PNC delegation there. Members of Parliament were there. Amanza Walton, Ganesh Maipal, the resident MP, Nima Flu Bess, was there. Christopher Jones was there. Senior Councillor Rosedale Ford was there. So the PNC had a full delegation there, and we in the WPA went in there to stand with those people. And you stand there and you watch as people deal with the atrocity of a government. But I pledge to those people, on my own behalf and on the behalf of our party, that we will stand with them. And our position is very clear. It must be the last set of Black people's homes that they demolish. At this point, I am telling people what to do, what people do to defend themselves, I am prepared to support. And I don't want anybody to ask me to qualify what I mean. I'm qualifying nothing. The violence and the terror against people cannot, should not, ought not to be tolerated, not one more day. I am not the kind of political activist that direct people what to do. People are fully capable. I want them to know that they have my full support in their quest to defend themselves against state terror. After demolishing those people's homes, destroying tens of thousands of dollars worth in property. One lady had a shop. They destroy all the products. And then they call those people after and tell them that a turnkey home is ready for them, offering them $3 and $4 million. As I said on the live, it's like killing a woman or a man and call afterwards and said, I will pay for the funeral. We have reached a critical juncture in our modern history in Guyana. Let me bring in Brother Kedaki, who, as I said, was... Brother Kedaki, good evening.
Good evening.
As we walked today and observe what was done today and over the last few days in Mocha, we talked to those people. What thoughts are running through your mind?
Some people say it's unwise to see what my thoughts are. One word describes the entire situation for me is infuriating. Infuriating. It's clear that there was no love, or there is no love with the kind of display that we saw at Mocha over the last few days. There's no love from the oppressive state. There's no love from the agents of the oppressive state. And as I said on several occasions, if people treat you with no love, then you treat them with no love. As the old folks might say, an eye for an eye. And so when I see what was happening in Mocha, or what is happening in Mocha, because as we speak, I just saw a post that heavily armed riot squad police and so on are heading to Mocha to confront those people who are still out there. The only thing I could really think about is how to retaliate.
But before we get to the point of retaliation, let's talk about the humanness of this. See, sometimes I think the politics leads us in a certain direction. And sometimes the politics is devoid of the humanity. And as you know me, I do not take politics as an act that is devoid from the humanness. I want you to reflect as a human being, not as a political activist. As political activists, yes, we will talk about retaliation and so on and so on. Those words come out from political people's mouth like butter on a hot frying pan. But I want you to get into the inhumanity of what you saw and what that means for an understanding of contemporary Guyana.
Well, like I said, there was no love. There's no love. Certainly, there is no humaneness in the approach of the powers that be to the situation. When you look, listen, I have a video queue up which I will roll with your permission as
Yes.
a shared screen.
And we're going to get to that. Yes, go ahead when you finish. Yes.
I listened to a woman talk. She said she is a former teacher. I listened to a woman talk about the sacrifices she made for more than 30 years. There's a generation. For more than 30 years to, as I would say, tame the land and get to the position where they were up until their property was destroyed. Only to be today asking ourselves where our children will sleep tonight, where our cattle will be secured tonight. How is she getting dinner? How is she existing? How is her family existing? Having encountered this. I've seen, you mentioned the business place. A business place flattened with cases upon cases of beverages. I understand that the police took away the most expensive of the beverages. And when you look and you listen to, when you see first and foremost people's properties flattened the way they were flattened, I understand there were about 36 homes on that stretch of land there. 36 homes. Persons say they have been there in excess of 30 years. From a wooden shack to a 4-bedroom concrete home and so on. And they all flattened. And when you listen to people tell their stories, it is heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. And that is why I said it's infuriating, because when you listen to people tell their stories, the only thing you can see is hatred. Hatred from the powers that be, hatred from those who issue the instructions to destroy these people's properties, right? And it comes down to what we'll be labeling as apartheid. This is a black versus Indian situation because the majority, if not all, of these residents on that stretch of land are African Guyanese. African Guyanese. And the person who is behind the destruction of their property and the forced removal, personal persons, are Indo-Guyanese. It starts with Irfan Ali, who, whether installed or otherwise, is the president of this country.
If it were just Irfan Ali as an
But I said
individual,
it starts with.
Brother Kidaki,
The
point you're making is very profound. But it's not Irfan Ali, it's the government of Guyana.
Right?
Irfan Ali is an individual, but this is Irfan Ali as president and head of the government of Guyana. This is what the government is doing to its people. And it's part of something that is concerted. It's not an accident. And damn you, these people are humans. I don't like the word retaliation. And ask people to affirm your humanity. To retaliate, it seems as though there's a little fight. This is an act against humanity. This is a crime against humanity. And it deserves people to affirm their human right. Retaliation is too small a word. It's a little fight. You knock me, I knock you back. This is more than that. It's a crime against humanity. Let me bring in Sister Nima Flubes, the Member of Parliament for the area, to get her thoughts, her native thoughts. She's from that village, that community.
Good evening.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening.
I saw you earlier, and your demeanor, as we were coming back, we were discussing, me and my two comrades, Comrade Kedaki and Comrade Ogunsi, and we were discussing your facial expressions and what that means to you, because you are from there. This is your native land. Talk to us. Talk to us about. Talk to us. Talk to us. No question. Just talk to us.
All right. A good evening again to you, Dr. Hines, and your viewers and other guests on the show. I am not at home as yet. I'm actually driving because I just stopped to talk with you people. The persons that were detained by the police, which was 2 females and 1 male, was recently released just about 5 minutes ago from the custody of the police. And the male has left to go to the hospital to seek medical attention because he was bitten on his feet by the officers. And why? Just for sitting down in his home and refusing to allow the officers there to dismantle his home. Tonight, that young man who has 3 daughters, school-age children, is without his daughters because they had to go to stay with a relative. And he is at the was at the station, and now he has to seek medical attention. For me, I want the world to know what I saw today being acted out on living, breathing human beings, people who have families, people who work to provide for their household, being so brutally attacked tells me that we are dealing with an uncaring, demonic government. We're not dealing with people who are in their right senses. because for months, and persons, those who would normally follow me would see that I have repeatedly highlighted this particular situation that affects the lives of 35 families with over 50 children. I want persons to understand that. Today, what took place, the breaking down and destruction of homes of 7 families, of which a total of 32 persons make up those families. Of the 32 persons, 20 of them are children. I want our viewers to understand there are 20 children tonight who is not sure as to where they will sleep. That's why I'm on the road this late, trying to ensure that these persons are in a place where they're a bit comfortable and at least they can lie down and get some rest. We didn't sleep all night last night. I personally didn't sleep because they were coming to attack them 1 o'clock in the morning. As God would have it, we had a heavy rainfall. So they didn't come. So they came this time earlier today. And it is very heartrending for me personally because I am a resident of the Mocha Arcadia community. Cane View is an area that we grew up knowing as part of our community, as a part of Arcadia Plantation. We know that areas where a lot of childhood memories were created for a lot of the people. The families destroyed today, many of those young people are my former students. I taught them at primary school. And I would have been one of the persons behind them, encouraging them to ensure that they keep themselves gainfully occupied, get their education and their families established. I was really proud to know that I have students who took in their education, was able to create their own employment. Look at the drink shop, Chevron. I taught Chevron at primary school. Chevron have her own business, and not only the drink business, she's also into pig rearing. So all the pigs are there tonight.
Yes.
Just at the back of the yard.
Yes.
Nothing else there, and all the drinks and everything is there.
And also, I understand, Nima, that when the APNU government was in power and they were running classes in accounting and so forth,
yes,
they were telling me that she would attend those classes. So this is a progressive young woman.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Very progressive. Very, very progressive. She doesn't stop at anything. She's always on the go. She always seek advice. And today to sit to see all our labor, all our efforts to be a productive member of society being taken away, it's very heartrending. It's very hard for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Very, very hard.
So have they charged these 3 people with any offense?
No, they were not charged. They were released. Because I would have wanted to know exactly what was the offense. Attempts are made to arrest me this morning too.
They made attempts to arrest you this morning? Yes.
The officer on the ground that was instructing told them that they should arrest me, and I asked him for what? It's standing up for the rights of my people, which is my duty as a politician. That's why I signed up as a member of parliament. That is my role, to protect and to stand up for our people. I wasn't doing anything illegal, but you're telling the officer that you're going to arrest me. What are you arresting me for? I asked him, what were they going to arrest me for? And I wasn't going to have any of that.
I understand there was a young woman that a policeman knelt on her.
Chevron, the same lady. Yes, I looked at that. Imagine a big, fat officer knelt her Chevron back to put on the handcuff on her. Wow. A male officer. There were females officers there. When people start screaming and making noise, why is it that the male officer got to be feeling up and pulling and tugging at a woman? That is when the female officers, they got involved. And these are some of the things I want people to understand. What was done today should have never happened to anybody. What is wrong with somebody saying, okay, the government want to remove me? And all the time we've been saying the same thing. Engage people in the right manner. The persons who took the settlements are persons who really didn't have assets on the ground as their cattle, the sheep, the goat. They depend, those persons who did not solely depend on the land for their income are the persons who run and took the negotiation or what the offers that were given. The persons that were destroyed today are all persons who are self-employed, persons who have their businesses and depend on the land for the earning. I want people to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I go on Facebook and I see comments, certain comments people make, it reminds me of people who have no idea of what they're speaking about, but they're talking about it. You have to be in the shoes of these people to understand. If I plant my mango tree, Roxanne got her mango trees. From her mango tree, she make her living. She make
Yes.
achar to sell.
Yes.
She got her pepper trees. She makes pepper to sell. She got her coconut trees. That's what she used to make her brooms to sell. Now you're telling her in your negotiation when you spoke to them that they must discard, sell out all of their sheep, the cow, whatever they have, sell it all out and take a house on the land. What is it that they're expecting these people to eat, to drink, or to wear?
Nima?
That is totally unfair.
Yes, yes. Let's zero in on what I call the cockishness that's going on here. The road is far away from this piece of land. Very far
Yes.
away. Their interest in this piece of land, and therefore, has to be not directly the road, but it has to be the worth of that piece of land once the road passes through. So those people who are there, as they say in economics, a road is passing, you happen to have front door access. What they're doing, it seems to me, is taking away the front door access that those people have, give them a little small piece, and then turn that valuable real estate over to their friends. Am I wrong? Am I exaggerating?
No, you're not exaggerating. That's exactly what is going on. Exactly what is going on. Because in their minds, Black people should not be where they can be economically empowered. That's the truth. That's the reality. I have a map that housing got, the exact map. Caneview, when they have the map laid out, is a part of Mocha Arcadia. That's how they put it. And I would say to people, the front part that they call Horsted, and we know it's Arcadia Plantation.
Yes.
But that's a whole other story. So the little piece that is there, Caneview, I have the map, and I'm going to ensure that it is published to show that that area is deemed a part of the Arcadia Plantation. That's the first thing. Now, because you're taking a road there, and what people need to understand, there's also another bridge way down the line in the Barwell North area that they're flooding on purpose. That was constructed under the coalition for the road. But that was abandoned because if they had constructed the road at that end, the farmers of Mocha Arcadia community, from as far as 13 Field, would have just got to walk out with the produce and they can sell to people as they pass. So that was abandoned. I don't know when they're going to bring it up. I think they will bring it up because they want the lands there too. And so they start with the road here. I don't know if people are aware, the only set of people that had to remove for the construction of this new road is the people at Caneview, all the Black people there. Nobody else. And if you drive and you check, their homes very close to that said area, but they did not have to remove. And it's a whole width of canal between the road and the Caneview residents. A whole canal width. And I still don't, it really goes to speak to marginalization uncaring, racial practices by the government. I saw that there were some statements posted out by the president. The ministers were talking. It's amazing when you sit and you listen to people who just running the mouth, as I would say. Two ministers and Ministry of Housing running the mouth and making statements, and they don't have no idea, no clue about the history and the development of that area. But they just our minister know that the people are squatters. They know that this is supposed to happen, and the people doing this and the people doing that. But we will await Comrade Hinds to see who they think they will bring there.
There you go.
Who they think they will bring there.
There you go.
To do business.
There you go. There you go. And I said it over and over again. We, the leaders, don't have to tell people what to do because they're human beings. Those people are human beings. I listen to them today. They understand what they're up against. And those of us who call ourselves leaders, we must not assume ultimate wisdom. And that is why I am stressing the humanity. What I saw there today was crime against humanity. A crime against humanity. Sister Nemo, ancestral lands. You kept mentioning that it's part of the Mocha Arcadia plantation. And you're insinuating, therefore, that piece of land may be ancestral land. No? Yes?
Yes, I am. I know.
You know.
I know it's our land. I know that. I studied my community when I went to University of Guyana, attended University of Guyana. I studied Canal number 3, which is Mocha Arcadia. Because this is my area and I didn't want to find out about other people's community. I want to find out about my community. I want to know my community history. And that's very important to me to understand the value of what we have as a people. It's very, very critical. And like I said, it is very sad to see what has taken place here today. One of the things I want the viewers to know, today, as I sat and I stood there and I looked helplessly, but prayerfully. Helplessly, but prayerfully. An operator hitting down Chevron's property. And if hitting it down wasn't one thing, with everything inside, all the drinks and everything, if that wasn't enough, if the operator went to the extent of digging a hole to bury some of the stuff for that woman.
Ooh. And these were black men.
That speaks volume.
These are black men.
Yeah. Digging a hole to bury stuff for that young woman. Bury the drinks. Bury her clothes.
Wow.
Bury the thing. I mean, what are you telling people?
Wow.
What message are you sending to people? By taking, you already hit down everything. You can't go inside and live in it. But then you subsequently went to dig a hole to bury. I'm praying for the operator. I hope he know what he actually buried.
Member of Parliament, as we wait on Brother Kedaki Amsterdam to come back on, there is a short video that he has put together. While we await Brother Kedaki, Sister Nima, tell us how people in the community are taking this. What's the mood? What's the feeling?
It's a very sad, solemn, mood. And like I said, just came back from the area. People are still standing out on the road.
Yes.
People are still visiting the area because the memories, people who knows our history in Mocha, Arcadia. Caneview is a place to be for Easter.
Yes, yes.
Caneview is a place to be to have so much fun. I have some photographs at home because I always do a photographic exhibition of my community. So I take pictures randomly, different things happening. I have a picture of young men riding bicycle race right at the back there and playing sallout and swimming in the same canal that they broke down all the bridges over. You know, so many memories people can speak of that area. And so it brings a very sad, solemn moment to our people and to our people who actually care. The people who actually care.
Nima flew best member of parliament. Sister Nima, stay with us. Brother Kadaki, you have a video there for us to look at. Go right ahead. Let me
I think I don't know how
bring
this
this
works.
stuff up. This gives us a panoramic view. Look at the destruction.
Kids, you bought pieces of shit.
There are people there. Look at the destruction. We seem not to be getting volume there, but certainly we are seeing the images. There we go, the images of the flattening, the destruction. Those who give the orders for that kind of action cannot be human beings. They cannot be human beings. And their ways and means of negotiating with your people, talking to your people, rapping to your people, hugging them. No one is against development. We are not against development. But if you have to destroy a piece of the human spirit, look. This is not just destruction of property. This is destruction of a piece of the human spirit. Look at that. This is not just flattening buildings, it's the meaning. These people are not worth. They're not worth being in government. They should not be in government. They should not be in government. As I stood with that lady, watching at her home, and she's speaking to me and explaining to me having to watch our home, to watch our cattle coming home, our 7 children. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Sister Nima,
Um,
you know that woman.
hmm,
You know her. She said she was a school teacher who turned to the land to make a living. And she watched there today as 30 years of labor, 30 years of human labor, 30 years of life being demolished by our government. Talk to us, Sister Nima.
this is very hard to see Roxanne having to deal with this, but I can tell you she's a very strong woman. We are strong people. This
Yes,
situation will just make us stronger.
stronger.
Today is tough. Tomorrow will be better.
Tomorrow will be better. We have to be
Tomorrow
hopeful
will be
people.
better.
Brother
And we
Kadaki,
will rise again.
Brother Kadaki, you were there, you were behind the camera as this woman was speaking with us. You were there as this woman was speaking with us. Must human beings live like this, Mr. Amsterdam?
Certainly not. Certainly not. No human being should have to live like this. When you listen to this lady's sacrifices, not only for herself and family, but for community. But for community, she speaks of teaching the community's children free of charge, right? She speaks of teaching the community's children free of charge and making her way, utilizing a land, building it from flood levels to what it was. And so heartrending is the word. Heartrending. It is heartrending to watch her tonight, this evening, in tears, uncertainty. Um, Hearing her talk of being suicidal, being willing to die, being willing to go under the gun of the police, the agents of the state in defense of her property, says a whole lot to me. It says a whole lot. And
Says a
I
whole
am
lot.
saying,
But
I am saying,
Niman Kidaki, as I walk through that crowd today, I was amazed at the number of references that were made to South Africa.
Yeah.
And many people reference the documentary Cry Freedom. Cry Freedom. Nima, you yourself reference that movie. What are the similarities, Nima, that you see between the experiences reflected in that movie Cry Freedom and what you saw in your village over the last couple of days?
What I saw
Sister Nima?
is you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing
I
you.
saw what I saw that is similar to the movie. It's that you have a machine there running, being driven on the livelihoods of people who are helpless. They're not people with guns. They're not bandits. They're not intruders in the country. They're Guyanese. They belong here. They have a right to earn. They have a right to eat. But the state used its resources as a weapon to destroy them. And I see all those young people just running, just like in the movie, with the school children coming out. I saw children crying. I remember the grandchild that came home, two of them, and go to the grandmother and said, "So, Granny, where we going to sleep now?" We ain't got house. I have the image in my head of the child who came out of the school bus the last time they attacked and started to scream uncontrollably that there was no bridge for her to go home. I have the image in my head of the police officer kneeling and taking advantage of Chevron in the mud. These are images that will not leave my mind, but they will not break me. They will not break me. We have to stand up. We have to speak out, and we have to fight this administration, which is so bent on destroying the lives of innocent people. Dr. Hines, before I take my leave, because my phone battery is going very fast,
Yes.
I must express heartfelt thanks to every person who offered prayers call, visited like yourself and our comrade there who came into the village and walked the roads of our people to see their struggle and to listen to it. And I'm confident that once we continue to unite together as a people, we shall overcome this demonic.
Thank you very much, Sister Nima Flu Bess. As we say, you know, I said on this program, she's an example of what I think a parliamentarian should be in 2022. And we keep the images on the screen so that you all can see the emotions on the face of people. Everywhere the faces of men and women are strained and anxious. Wherever you are in your communities, they're coming to your community. They're coming. The time is now to begin to put up barricades. They're coming to your community. The people of Denamstel have invited us to visit with them. And those of you from Denamstel here, we will be coming to Denamstel on Saturday morning because we have to begin to protect our communities. We don't have to wait until, we should not wait until they show up with their guns. If you're from Denamstel and nearby, myself, Brother Kidaki, and a delegation from the WPA will be visiting Denamstel at the invitation of a group of people in the village. We'll be coming there to speak with you, to hear from you, and to begin to mobilize you to defend your community long before the strange invader comes. So that Saturday morning at around 9, 10 o'clock, the organizers of our visit will, of course, share the information. But for those of you who are here, we are giving you advance information. Brother Kadaki, any thoughts here as we continue to reflect on this human disaster that has befallen our country?
The time has come, Dr. Hines, for African Guyanese especially to band themselves together and defend their valued assets. Because as is evident in Mocha, the PPP administration is contemptuous and wicked and vindictive against Black people and believe that they should not have anything of value. And it is that belief, that mindset that is causing them to treat the people of Caneview the way they're treating them. It is a sickening thing to learn that all of this destruction of 31 homes is being done in the interest of perhaps securing the favor of one family in this country. My sources tell me that it is the Mohammeds who have used 45 or $54 million to do a road in Mocha in exchange for that plot of land from the government of Ghana. And it is wicked, it is racist, and I am saying that the time has come for Guyanese, African Guyanese, to band themselves together and defend not only their ancestral rights, but their rights as human beings and their rights to earn and to live as citizens of this country. Those are my thoughts.
Kiraki Amsterdam there. I want on behalf of the WPA to thank the people of Mocha Arcadia for inviting us in to their community to lend solidarity. Those men, they were very animated and they express what needs to be done. I was heartened that as we walked into the village, we did not have to introduce ourselves. That the people of the village knew who we were, who we are. And so we have to continue, all of us, the PNC, the WPA, those were the two political groups on the ground, and all other progressive forces. IPADG, I understand, was there yesterday, that we have to continue to lend solidarity to our people. As one young man said to me, when we see you all come, we are strengthened. But we as leaders have to do more. We have to go in there and we have to continue to talk with our people and plan with our people to defend their humanity, to defend their humanity. And so, brothers and sisters, tonight it is with a heavy heart. And I have to say, as a black man, as an African Guyanese, I am determined more than ever not to allow people to take my eyes off the prize. Those who are under attack are black people. Black people. Black people like me. They're under attack. And if my people are under attack, I have to stand with them to defend themselves. Those people did not go looking for trouble. All they were doing is to say, we have a God-given right to live somewhere. And a government have the right to live where they want to live on their ancestral land. I don't know about you. What I do know is that we as a people ought not to sit by and allow this degradation of our spirit. You lick down the people's homes, you harass them, you brutalize them, and you call them and tell them you'll give them a 5 million turnkey home. Kill them and say you will pay for their burial. Black people, all you're worth more than that. And those who are carrying out the work of the devil, those black faces that have arrogated unto themselves to be the enforcers of evil. We have to have a conversation with them, our sons, our brothers, our fathers, our boyfriends and girlfriends, our wives, our husbands. The Black community has to decide now. How are we going to be able to look at that policeman, to look at the drivers of those machines and excavators and so on? How are we going to look at them as they come into our communities? We have to have an internal talk. We have to have an internal talk. We can't be sleeping next to the enforcer of the devil. We cannot be sleeping with the man and men whose knees bear the print of the degradation of our womanhood. That man who knelt on that woman today, he should be charged. Should be charged. He has committed a crime. We saw a white policeman in Minneapolis who knelt on George Floyd and ignited an international movement. That beast who knelt on that woman today is no different from that white man who knelt on George Floyd. Black people, we gotta get serious. That knees bearing the print of brutalization of Black womanhood cannot come into our communities and smile with us and drink with us if we don't have a conversation with him and them. We have been restrained. I myself and other leaders have been trying our very best to restrain our people. Because those of us who've been doing this for a long time, we know very well that violence can be something that destroys all of us. We know that. We know that. That is why we have been restraining our people. But how long can we continue? We are not firefighters that the PPP start their fires and expect people like myself to go to our people and tell them to be calm, to be restrained, to be non-violent. How can I watch that woman, those women, those men, and tell them to be calm and restrained? How can I watch them? Who feels it knows it. We are at a critical point. This government has to decide whether it wants Black people to live as equal people or it wants to drive us again into the plantation. We fought bitterly to get out of the plantation. We're not looking for another fight. But I said tonight, we ought not to back down from a fight when our very humanity is at stake. We fight in many ways. We fight with what we have. We fight with what we have, and all we have is our bodies. We fight. We don't interfere with people. Perhaps if we are guilty of anything, is interfering with ourselves. So to talk, those Indian comrades who talk about Black post-election violence, have Black people flattened the homes of Indians? Did the Burnham government and the Hyde government and the Granger government, did they go into Indian villages and treat them like scums? The post-election violence that they talk about Black people inflicting on Indians, it's right before their eyes there. I don't have guns. I don't have bombs. We don't have guns. We don't have bombs. But we will not be bombs. B-U-M-S. That I can assure. Today, we mourn. Today, we speak. Tomorrow, we act. We act in defense of our humanity. Those of us in other villages, they're coming. They're coming. In one form or the other, they're coming. Our brother Martin Carter said, death must not find us thinking. Death must not find us thinking that we die too soon, too soon. The banner draped for you, I would prefer the banner in the wind, not bound so tightly in a scarlet fold, not sodden with my people's tears, but flattened on the pole we bear aloft. I watched as those women cried. I grew up as a little boy seeing women crying and wailing. And my God, I'm an adult, a big man now. And I have to watch Black women cry and wail. Still, tomorrow must mean something different. Tomorrow must mean something different. Arise, Black man. Arise, Black woman. Arise, African Guyanese. This is not just about homes anymore. This is not just about a piece of land anymore. This is about our right to live in peace and to live equally in peace and to live as human beings. We must not rest. We must not rest. Because as soon as we close our eyes, they're gone with us. Tomorrow must mean a difference. We have a date. We have a date with our destiny. We have a date with destiny to determine our own collective destiny. We have a date with destiny, black man, black woman. We have a date with destiny. We can't pretend anymore. Oh, everybody is suffering. Not everybody's homes are demolished. We have a date with destiny to determine our own destiny in Guyana. I quoted from the poem by Robin Dobru, the Surinamese poet. I quoted the lines that I can feel it in the sun, I can feel it in my bones. Robin Dobru said, I want to hate somebody today. And I know he knew who that somebody was. I want to hate somebody today. Brother Bob Marley said, I want to disturb my neighbor. When the poet, the lyricist, takes license to use words like that, you all pay attention. He's not talking about literal hate, because the hate comes from the hate mongers. You all are not alone. The people of Mocha are not alone, ought not to be alone. That we know. I'm gone. I'm gone for tonight. To refuel, to come back tomorrow. To continue God's work. And the work of our ancestors. But more than that, our own work. This is about survival. Survival. We've been in the lion's den before. We have died many times. We died on the shores of Africa. We died on the plantations of the Americas. But every time we die, we find a way to rise. Our date with destiny, you all begin to talk to them young people. They have to join this struggle. This is not about David Hines and Aubrey Norton and whoever else. This is about us as a people. We need leadership. But we also need troops. Jesus could not save the world without Jesuits and Christians. I say again, if you don't like the PNC, then there's no reason to go and join the devil. They are the rest of us. And we have to learn to share the burden. Difference is not a crime. But difference must not lead us over to the devil. People of the Amstel, we are coming on Saturday. I think they're going to spread the word there. And we are coming to play our part, to listen to you, and to hear your thoughts, and to begin to plan to protect our villages. Our villages are our birthright. Our birthright. We must not wait until the enemy comes. We must begin to put up the barricades so that when they come, they will meet the very power and force of a united and conscious people. And that is what and how we can help at this point. At this point. At this point. I come in peace tonight, I'm leaving in peace. But the peace that I talk about is not a passive peace. It's not a passive peace. We have never been a passive people. We go tonight with a heavy heart. With a heavy heart. But we know tomorrow it has to be new. Our date with destiny